about that right after this. I don't know. I would like to just do this one thing really well. And I sort of trust that other people will make great rocket companies.
Would you say on Blend, do you overall really like it? Because it's like more than you bargained for.
I mean, I feel very grateful and very like lucky for sure. And I have no doubt that like someday in the future when I'm like retired, I will miss it and like be like, oh man, I kind of bored now, and that was so cool.
It's like very important.
It feels very important. It feels very satisfying. I feel like crazy grateful to get to do it, and I do like it almost most of the time. But man, has it been like all out and overwhelming and like real. Like I think I've been way more in the kind of like line of fire than I ever imagined.
Well, it's not really what you set out to do. I mean, like, most of the time somebody starts like a software company, they expect it to be a software company. I don't think you expected all this.
It was supposed to be my retirement job. I was supposed to like run a little research lab.
Yeah. And I mean, there was a world where this didn't, there was obviously a lot of worlds where this didn't happen.
Yeah.
Aside from the liking it and aside from, the number of hours, do you experience it as like heavy and important or like a playful, interesting puzzle?
Very much both of those at the same time. Like I feel like it is clearly from like a societal impact perspective, or at least the potential. It is the most important work, the most impactful work I'll ever touch. I don't know. I don't want to get like too much like drinking our own Kool-Aid, but like, maybe this will be like somewhat historic work. And I feel that when I have time to like step back and think about it. But in the day-to-day, it's kind of like, the smaller stuff. And I do find a lot of joy in the smaller stuff. Like I love the people I work with. It's like very fun to get to like do a lot of the pieces. Some parts are like very stressful and painful, but it's the like, it is more like, it feels more like an interesting puzzle than important work.
You also get to like talk to whoever you want. That's cool. You get to like think about whatever you want.
I don't get to think about whatever I want. I get like problems. I feel like I'm like a pre-trained model that just like wakes up in the morning. I have like an hour to myself, and then I'm just like streamed stuff, and I have to react.
Okay, fair enough. I guess you could you can put into the model, everything's on the table, even if you can't control how much time you get to give to it. I guess
it doesn't feel that way.
That's interesting.
I mean, it feels like there's some small amount of time before the day really gets going where I've got some agency and can decide some things, and then it feels like fairly reactive.
Interesting. Yeah. I guess there's kind of no way around that given the pace of scale.
I'm trying to find it.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I guess, you keep hiring execs, it gets to a certain place at some point.
Hopefully.
What about for like your own experience? Because like what's been interesting to me is, obviously I don't think any differently about, you on some level other than I think this is very cool. But like you've obviously gone from like tech echo chamber famous to just like regular New York Times famous. Is there any upside or is it all just suck?
I think there is a lot of upside to being tech famous. I think that's like the perfect level of it. Like if you're like tech famous, you can sort of get a lot of interesting stuff done. You can meet kind of anyone you want. Like it's just like that felt, you can kind of like encourage people to do stuff. There's like a lot of good opportunities. That felt good. I mean, I think I'm not like celebrity famous. That would be really miserable, but it's enough that I can't like quite have a normal life.
It has a different energy to it. Like you're never going to be as cool as Tom Cruise or something.
For sure. But I like, I can still like walk on the streets.
I didn't mention this to you, but when we were in the Exploratorium last weekend in the gift shop, somebody was like, the CEO of Chat GPT is in the building. I was like, that's good. My son still calls Chat GPT Siri, which I think is very funny.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. I talked to Siri this morning.
It was very funny when you guys called this weekend.